Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Shut Door or Door Show to come back to you with episode 8 of the Direwolf20 1.19 mod pack. And today we're going to get into AE2 or Applied Energistics 2, whatever you want to call it. We are going to be stepping into this for the very first time in a long, long time. I don't think I've ever actually done AE2 on my channel before, but I've played with it way back in the early days of Applied Energistics 2 and of course Applied Energistics 1. So let's get into this. Things have changed. Let's start with that. Things have changed dramatically from the original version of AE2. Originally, you had like the grind wheel thing that you could throw ores into and crush. That's gone. Now what we've got is a charger, which is kind of your base block. Um, of course, this is kind of how you get your meteorite compass and also charged Certus quartz crystals. We really don't need to worry about this just yet. I think our first bit of business is the inscriber. You can see I do have a very minimal amount of Certus quartz crystals because they aren't common like they were originally in AE2. So keep that in mind. Okay, inscriber. So the inscriber, we actually need to get power to. Let's actually grab energy cables, and we're going to actually go over to the actual power plant area. We're not going to put this in my base because it's going to take a little bit to actually get set up because I want several of these things. What does an inscriber do? Well, if we press U on this and we go to the inscriber tab of JEI, you can see that we can make several things. What in the world is that? I don't even know what this is. All right, this is something that's different. It's a mod add-on, of course. But you can see that we can make what is processors and engineering circuits, and of course this printed silicone, which is what I'm trying to find. Here's a printed logic circuit. Here's the printed silicone. There's a printed calculation circuit. So quite a few interesting things. And you could see that there is a second version of this, which is what this is, the advanced inscriber. Basically, it's from AE2 Things, just an add-on mod that would make the inscribers much easier. All right, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to place this inscriber here, and we're going to have 5 of these at the end of the day here. So I want to get it to where we can set this up without needing, to wait on that. I want to have these set up so we can actually get like a drawer full or something of that sort immediately. Of course, silicone is going to be the problem. Silicone, right here, silicone is made with Certus quartz dust. Okay, Certus quartz dust can be made using Certus quartz, which we do not have a lot of. I don't 100% know anything about the Certus quartz buds or anything of this sort, so I'm not 100% sure how you obtain a ton of this stuff. Because I don't even think they show up as like ores from the scanner. I think you legitimately need to find these buds and everything in the wild, and I really haven't seen that many of them. So I might have to go on a hunt or look up a better way to get Certus quartz crystals. But until then, we're going to just set this process up and use what silicone we actually have. And JEI, let's see, are these two things cross-compatible? They are. So we could use nether quartz. It's an option. Looks like the Stoneworks factory we could use. Now, the Stoneworks factory is out of the option, by the way. This is a lot more than what I really want to get into. So nether quartz, of course, nether quartz is expensive. Who guessed, right? Blue nether quartz? That's interesting. I mean, diorite, that's an option. Soul sand, 12% chance. Huh. Actually, right there, diorite in a crushing macerator. That's a very simple idea, but I think that would work if we are in dire straits, right? Like, that is probably going to be the best option. Crushing macerator, diorite. How do you get diorite, though? Because I don't have a supply of diorite. Granite. Granite can be made with not much. Not much, huh? Yeah, so we're kind of out of options on nether quartz. So we'll need to get like digital miner or something of that sort. But for now, we're just gonna set this up, and I will worry about getting plenty of something. Stardust quartz, nether quartz, one of those in the future here. And I think this should have attached, right? Okay, it did. All right, so why do we need this, right? First things first, we need this to get a lot of the crafting components for applied energistics. We'll need an ME drive because this is where our storage disks, our storage cells are stored. All right, so it's kind of got that same look as refined storage, but the major difference with applied energistics 2, besides the channels and stuff, which we'll get into later, is the storage cells. Because you can see here that it can store 1024 bytes used, right? So 1024 bytes used and then 63 types. What does this mean? Well, with applied energistics, you have what is types. Types are, say, cobblestone, dirt, iron, gold, redstone. Those would all be considered types. Each type is basically a specific item. If I have one diamond in there, that's one type. One cobblestone, that's one type. One sword, that's one type. It is all of those things, and you can only have 63. Does that sound awful? Because it kind of is. That is how it works, though, in applied energistics. And that means you have to be smart about your storage. Okay, it means you have to use functional drawers. You have to use chests and stuff like that to kind of circumvent that whole solution of having so little type storage, right? So there are, of course, what in the world? I have no idea what those are. But anyway, these are like the base ones. 1K, 4K, 16, 64, 256, and you only have 63 types on all of these. The bytes go up, which means that I could store more of those types, but I can't actually have more types. At least this is what I remember from the original Applied Energistics 2. Maybe it's changed, not 100% sure, but I think that's still the selling point of Applied Energistics. But yeah, and it of course gets more and more expensive, just like refined storage. But you've got like the mega drives, which still have 63, but you could store a whole lot of stuff in there. Fantastic, right? So, ME drive, ME controller, Fluix crystals, which is a whole nother ballgame. You need charged Stardust quartz, which of course you need the charger for, and it comes full circle, right? A lot of things to look in, a lot of things to get done. Let's get going. So, first things first, ME drive needs an engineering processor, which is an engineering circuit, and a printed silicone. Okay? The inscriber press, these things, the inscriber anything, are actually obtained through AE2 meteorites. This is one of them. You can see I bridged across here and actually went in here. And you'll find what is called a mysterious cube. You break that and you will get 4 items. Those 4 items are all of the presses you will need for Applied Energistics 2. I broke one of them, or actually several of them, in a live stream. So I have them sitting in here just waiting to be used. And while we're in here, let's actually quickly make more inscribers. 4, perfect. And each one of these can hold each of these presses, each of those inscribed presses. So 1, actually before we place these down, let's run the cables. So boop, 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 boop. All right, so for silicone, right, let's look back at silicone. We need the inscribed silicone press. So we'll put that in the first one. Actually, I guess I don't need this many, but it's fine. Okay. Actually, I think you kind of need more than what I have here, but that's okay. And we'll just kind of just throw these in here. Doesn't really matter. And this last one can be used to make the final circuits, because you do need one separate for this, right? So at the end of the day, you really do need 8. Well, I guess not 8, 7 most likely. Because silicone is its own thing, so you don't need one for that. So this 4, you only need 3. And the silicone press, I mean, you could just add more silicone presses and stuff like that, but for now. Anyway, silicone. Do I actually have any on me? I don't think I do. I think it's all in the chest. You know, the reason I have silicone, by the way, is because I was using that auto smelt on accident on quartz. So we only have 50 of this, which should be fine. Fine to get us started. Alright, so we'll just throw the 30 in here. Kidding, by the way. You can only throw 1 item per. That's a fun thing as well. Alright. So how do you fix that? Well, I mean, you could do laser IO. Could do, right? But I think for now, I'm going to grab a hopper and just funnel in as much silicone as I can. Because this will accept from one of these directions. I believe the top is this hole, the front is this hole, and the back is this. Nope. Okay, from the bottom. That's what okay, so top, side, bottom. Understood. And I actually didn't know it even said that, but that's nice to know. Oh, actually, all the sides can be. Okay. Hey, things as you learn. That's a pretty nifty thing. I've never seen a mod do that. Alrighty. So we're going to get some printed silicone. And I think the first thing that I want to do is actually get this. The advanced inscriber. I want to try that and see how snazzy it is, right? So let's actually grab some diamonds because that's one of the things we need for that. And also for the ME drive and the controller and all of that jazz as well. So let's see. Diamonds. Walked right past them. And then which press is that one? This one? Nope. This one? Nope. This one? Okay. I was too lazy to look, honestly. Alright. Hopper's in order. Alright, so that is now going. Now what we can do is throw all 3 of these things into this final inscriber, and we will get one of the engineering processors that we need. So this is going to be a very repetitive process because I'm not going to automate this fully as of current. So I'm just going to stand here and throw these in until I get... Actually, no. Hold on. Let's actually take this inscriber since I'm not using it as of yet. And let's actually grab the advanced inscriber. I want to see what this thing looks like, honestly. Advanced inscriber, huh? I needed something. Hoppers. I don't have any more hoppers. Let's grab some iron. I already have iron. Logs. Make some chests. Alright. And then... I guess I could have just double logged it. That's fine. Nope, not recipe. Use. So advanced inscriber. Let's quickly set this thing down. So it looks exactly like that. You do have way more acceleration cards you can put in here. That sounds awesome. Okay, so this is the gold one. Nope, not what I'm thinking. Hold on. Okay, so this is the Certus Quartz one, and then this one is the gold one. Okay, so I was right. Let's grab some gold real quick. See how this thing works. So you can just throw a whole stack in there. That is fantastic. I like these already. And it'll just smelt. Okay. Oh, and there's the fluid cells. Alrighty. But yeah, that looks like it'll continuously just throw a stack in there and you call it a day. That is awesome. Alright, so I'm going to work on getting all advanced inscribers. And what is the acceleration? These things? Yeah, those are expensive. Okay. I'm going to look at that. I'm also going to go off camera and look into how to get more quartz or Certus quartz or something of that sort while I wait. And I'll be right back in a second. All right, so after looking at some information here, I was doing things wrong. Okay, so I need to get the budding Certus quartz blocks. These things right here. So why do I need this? Well, basically the reason you want these is because if you place them in the world, they will grow buds. These buds can then be processed or broken, whatever you want to say, into either Certus quartz dust if they're not fully grown, or when they're fully grown, Certus quartz in total. So I need to get some of these. Why do I not have any of these? Well, I broke them. Breaking them without Silk Touch does not give you the budding Certus quartz. So I need to go find these in the world with my Silk Touch pickaxe, which means I need to go get meteorites, which I'm going to go check the ones that I've already been through or passed by. And from there, I am going to get more Certus quartz, so that way we do not have to worry about this in the future. And also, getting a crystal growth accelerator, placing that nearby will allow for these to grow more Certus quartz when they're adjacent. Whatever adjacent means, I don't know if that's next to, 2 blocks away, 3 blocks away, 4 blocks away, whatever. So I'm going to go do that off camera. I'll find some meteorites that do not have that kind of stuff. I think I mean, we could definitely look at this map. It looks like there's an Ad Astra one down here, I think. Okay, no, so there is one way down in the Badlands. The bad thing is I'd have to go that way. We don't really have like a cheap way of flight. I mean, we could get into Visecraft, but I'm not going to. So let me explore. I have the Ring of Return on me, and yeah, I'll be back whenever I find enough of these that I'm comfortable to continue with AE2. Also, real quick, there is actually a villager profession, by the way, for AE2. I just came by the villagers and thought of this. It is the Fluix Researcher. If you grab a charger, you can change their profession. So I might look at that in the future. Maybe we can do some nifty villager trading, resource gathering that way. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know the trades. I'm pretty sure if I look up like maybe Fluix crystals, maybe we can see that there's a villager trade for these or something. But I don't see any villager anything on these. So I'm not 100% sure what their trades would be. I wish I did, honestly, because it'd be pretty cool to figure it out. But there are none listed, so. Alrighty, so I'm inside of an AE2 meteorite here. All you do is you just come into the center, you mine down, and you can find the mysterious cube, which has the inscriber presses in it. I'm just going to silk touch this for now because I don't need all the presses in my inventory all at once. And then we are here. So down below, you can see that we have a few budding crystals, and they all have different tiers. You have flawless, damaged, chipped, flawed. I don't see a chipped one here, but they all are, you know, different. Of course, flawless is the top best. Flawed is kind of the second best, third best, fourth best, so on and so forth. And those are all those tiers. So if we silk touch these actual Certus quartz buds, we can pick them up. And then, of course, there is a chance that these will become lesser tiers whenever they are broken. So let's just pick this up. So we might get a flawed here. Let's just keep mining all this. I'm going to mine everything with Silk Touch right here. So we've got 2 or 3 flawed, so we didn't pick up a single flawless, which is fine. Let's see. So if budding quartz can be found in meteorites or be regenerated using quartz, charged quartz, and water. So I might look into that, getting a charged Certus quartz crystal, throwing that in here, and seeing if I can get these all to be flawed. I don't know how effective that will be, but trying that would be an improvement. But I'm going to get more of these. I want to get an entire area full of these things, so that way we are not worried about that. So I'm going to keep going. I am going to head down to this one. I actually got halfway here and found one. So I should have made a meteorite compass before I came down here. So I'm out here exploring, and I just came across this mahogany, like tropical rainforest. Watch what happens when I cut one of these down. You see inside of this, there's a whole bunch of honey blocks. I honestly wasn't looking for these trees. I've just kind of been cutting down trees left and right that I haven't had, because I like having a whole bunch of different options for blocks, right? So, yeah, I just came across this madness. These trees actually aren't being cut down fully by the saw, which kind of sucks, but honey. Honey, honey, honey. That is awesome. I'm going to harvest this up. I don't know. I think this can just be broken and it just, yeah, it drops honeycomb. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. But that saves us some time because I won't have to get as much honey right away. Because I know honey is one of those things where I'm like, I don't have any. But this, I mean, I cut down a few trees. I get some honey blocks. You know, I'm living it up here. So I've been coming across some actual interesting structures, and this is actually one. I was just over here a second ago looking at those trees, and now I've come across what looks like to be another fortress, but I've actually been exploring quite a while, and I've also found just a few ships and stuff as well. Way back in this direction, you've got this ship here. There was actually a pirate ship I marked right here, like an actual like full out pirate ship. So I've kind of just been looking back and forth at different asteroids, but I wanted to see what actually this consisted of. Oh yeah, look, that's scary. All right, I'm gonna run down to this meteorite, even if it's an ad-astra. There's still diamonds, iron, gold stuff in those, and I'm actually gonna verify which one it is. So this will probably be my last one if it's applied energistics. I want to get one more. I mean, I've got a decent amount of these quartz buds, but I want to get as many as I can because we are going to try and make them better with water. I don't know how effective that's going to be, but I want to try that. So, yeah. So this actually is a just a smaller applied energistics meteorite. So I'm not sure if there will actually be much here. Oh yeah, okay. But this is the last one I'm grabbing, and then we're going to recall home, and then we're going to work on getting the charger and also the crank for that, because you do need a crank. I mean, you can actually connect it to power, so I guess we'll probably do that instead. But yeah, that was the last one that I need. I don't think I've actually got any flawless ones, so that's kind of sad. I was really hoping to get some flawless ones just so I don't have to do all of them, but that'll be okay. We'll get this done, and I will, let's see, find my recall. Doodly-doo, where is it? This thing right here, Ring of Return. Perfect. And now we can get on to the charger. So the charger is actually quite cheap to make. All you need is 2 copper, and I believe about 6, maybe 6, I think. So I think it's like this. Okay, so it's just 5. All right. And then we can come over to our power station. And for now, I'm actually just going to direct line this right here. That should connect. All right. And then what we can do is we can get pure Certus quartz, or just normal Certus quartz here, and start charging that. So it's just immediate, right? Okay. So now what we can do is then get a little pond of water. So let's just put a hole right here. And I believe you just toss in this. Hold on, let me actually open my bag. So you toss in, let's say, the flawed. Then you tossed in a charged. Oop, nope, I don't want that to be picked up. And this should start doing stuff. Hold on. Nope, not what I meant to do. Pretty sure it's just like this, right? If we look at this, quartz blocks spread go on cording crystals, flawless crystals. Yeah, so this is why you'd really want to get the actual higher tier here as well, because they have a chance to just decay. Flawless ones do not. And I'm not sure if that's actually working. Okay, you see that little particle effect? That right there, that purple lightning? That's usually the indicator that it is functioning. So I'm going to see what happens. I don't know how long this takes or anything of that sort. I don't know if there's like a particle explosion or anything, so I'll wait on this. You know, I gotta say I wasn't expecting to be jump scared by a goat. But there's a boss, hypothesis boss mob. Do I try and kill it? I think I do. Okay. Give me Comper Monster Balls. And I will kill him in a second. But I accidentally just picked up the Certus Quartz and Flawed that I was trying to do. So let's actually take him to a place where he belongs, which is in a hole that he should not be able to jump out of. Hopefully. I'll be back in a little while. Alright, he is almost dead. And he dropped the helmet. That is not the greatest. Respiration, Aqua Affinity, and Protection. I mean, that's fantastic enchants, but like, kinda useless. Actually, I guess convert that to that. That'd be fine. And we can upgrade it over time. Get some Silent Gear equipment. That don't sound terrible to me. Yeah, we can definitely look at Silent Gear. I don't care about the special effects, honestly, because I'm not going to use the helmet. We also got Raw Goat. And, yeah, I mean, that was it for all those hits that I had to do to the poor thing. It was a leather helmet that we will upgrade eventually. Okay, so from what I'm seeing here is confusion. Okay, so I think what I was thinking is that flawed can actually be made into flawless, but it doesn't seem like it can. So watch this. All right, I have 4 of these. I have 7 damaged. If I throw these both in here, in a second, you can see that it just twitched, and now all of the charged are gone. And the reason that is because they all just converted into flawed budding Certus Quartz crystals. So I do not think you can make flawless out of flawed. You need to make damaged or chipped into that. Okay, so that's understandable. That's fine. If I can only have flawless, that is okay. Or if I can't have flawless, that's fine. That's what I mean. But now we need to get charged Certus Quartz crystals, which isn't that hard, of course, just using the charger. And we'll get enough of these. We'll make the damaged into flawed, and then we'll just use the flawed to then create everything else, okay? But flawless is what we're shooting for, but I guess flawless is not obtainable unless you silk touch it and get a flawless. So we'll need a meteorite compass at one point. Okay? Okay. Also, I have a wandering trader with a pretty nice sword in there. So I'm going to get a new sword in a bit with enchants and all of that fancy jazz. I cannot wait. I found him on my travels. He teleported next to me, and then I captured him. So, and of course, damaged has to go through the process of going through chipped as well. So that's probably why it's taken so many things. Just so you guys know. So just chuck it, chuck it. Yeah, see, so it goes from chipped. So if it starts to decay, I assume we could actually set a system up to take out the flawless, or take off the flawed, or damaged, or chipped, or, the sort, and actually convert it back to flawed. Okay, so we have 18 flawed building, or budding Certus quartz crystals. So what can we do with these? Well, what we want to do is actually get... Let's actually light this up a little bit here. I know it's not like important because they don't spawn, but I just want it to be a bit brighter. What we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of tuff. We're going to set one here. I'm actually going to move this torch aside here. And we're going to set one here, here, here. And that torch is still in the way. And we'll set one here and here. Okay, and then on top of this, we're going to set the flawed. And we're going to break the block that's under them. So over time, these guys will actually get budding Certus quartz crystals, like the actual crystal formations on them, which we can break with a pickaxe with fortune. Once they're fully grown, you want to make sure they're 100% fully mature, and then you want to break them. Okay, that's our goal. So I'm gonna actually set that up back here as well. So we're just gonna go 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. And of course, the reason I'm doing 2 is because on that block you'll have a block here and a block here from that that crystal growing. So keep that in mind. All right, and then we'll do 2 and 2, and we'll just... Ah, crap. It became chipped. That's fine. We'll repair it in a little while. So you're basically making a return investment on top of these once you start using the charged Certus quartz crystal to repair them. See, so we have a Certus quartz bud that is appearing. We want this to be a large, I believe. So bud, if we just type in bud, we want that, yeah, so we want this to be a large one, and that should be fine. Large Certus quartz crystal bud. Okay. So yeah, we'll let these grow. You can see that they're happening all over the place. I'm hoping on the bottom as well. But that is fantastic. Hopefully we can harvest those up in a little bit. So that is how we get Certus quartz crystals. And of course we can set up some automation to break those blocks with AE2, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure there's like a constructor or something. Plane of destruction plane, ain't it? Yeah, annihilation plane and formation plane. You can use these to read the NVT of a block or the actual block that is you're looking at, and just break it whenever it hits a hits that block, right? So you can whitelist certain blocks, blacklist certain blocks. We can whitelist the chipped or damaged block once it decays, break it, send it into a pool, and get it charged back to a flawed. So in theory, you'd have the infinite Certus quartz crystals, because you could actually set those annihilation planes also to break those as well. So fantastic. All right, I need to get a drawer for all this wood that I picked up. But I think with that, after I get these all placed down, we're going to wrap up this episode. It has been an enjoyable one. It really has, because like I'm really excited to get into AE2. It's going to be tedious. It's definitely going to be that way. But next episode, Crystal Growth Chamber is in order because these do help those actual buds grow quicker. So that way we could actually get them faster, get Fluix crystals more, get all that stuff automated, get that stuff going, and all of that jazz. So with that, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay awesome, and I hope to see you guys around. Bye-bye!